Hi, I'm Stefan, the BMW DIY guy, and do you hate those orange reflectors on your BMW X3 as much as I do? I'm going to show you how to change them. All right, so let's talk through this project a little bit before we do it and the reasons why you may want to do this yourself. Now, those orange reflectors, regardless of what paint color you have of your car, the US models have these orange reflectors up on the front corners of the bumper. I can't stand them. It's the very first thing I do is change them out. Now, IND does a fantastic job of paint matching exactly those reflectors, so you can easily replace them with exactly your paint color and get rid of this ugly orange. All right, this is a pretty straightforward project. I'm going to walk you through it really quickly. I'm going to show you on one side that's not done yet so you can see exactly what we're talking about. Then I'm going to show you on the other side that is partially done, because that way some of these pieces will make a little bit more sense. If it wasn't for just a couple of blind rivets, this would be about a 5-minute job, but I'll walk you through it. It's really simple. All right, so let's take a look at what it looks like before we get started. All right, so looking here at the outside, this is what I mean about those orange reflectors. Now the irony is with this venting right here, you can actually get your hand directly on the back of it, and you could almost get it out by pressing on it. But this little cup shape right here actually overlays the top edges and bottom edges of the reflector a little bit. So you're going to have to pull the trim. Now, if you notice, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are called blind rivets. Basically, they have a pin in them. When you stick them in, you've got a little tool that squishes, pulls the pins, squashes the head of this rivet, and then cuts the top off to leave this behind. So all you need to do is take the pry tool on a plastic trim tool. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Get underneath this head and just pry on it, and the head will pop off. And then at that point, the back part will be loose in these 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. In addition, this ducting right here is held in by 2 8mm screws here and here that you can't see right now because the trim's in the way. So this is why this would be a 5-minute job if it wasn't for these blind rivets, honestly, which is really too bad. So let's flip over to the other side. I want to show you what you're going to take apart to get this out. So here's the reflector on this side. Now keep in mind they are marked left and right. So this is the left, this is the driver's side. Fits in this position right here, which you can tell is already out. This is really easy to do once you get the blind rivets off. Okay, so there's an 8mm screw right here. You take that out, and then you're going to use your plastic trim pry tool, which it looks a lot like this. It's metal, gets underneath that rivet head, pops the rivet head off really easily. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once those are off, you can very carefully pull on this trim. It's held in by just a series of clips that goes around, and you can walk it to about the middle position. You can see mine is loose. There's those plastic rivets on the back. This comes out really nicely, and now this is out of the way. And then that exposes 1 and 2, the 8mm screws that are right here. Once that's off, this ducting is loose. You can take this, you can pry this out. Make sure to get the ends of the squash rivet out. And what that squash rivet looks like is, looks like this. That's the very end of it that was left back behind. You can tell how it was compressed and held into place. So when you pull those heads off, I just reach through and I pull those backs of those squash rivets off, or blind rivets, depending on who you talk to. Okay, so you can pull those out 1, 2, 3, 4. You can pull those screws out 1, 2, and then all of this is loose. Then all you need to do is very gently press. You can also get your fingers in from the inside right here, and you can just gently press and pull to get this off, because it's only held in by a track of adhesive top and bottom. So what I usually do is I'll kind of press on the top corner, eventually get a gap on it, get my fingers to the inside, and slowly just peel it away really, really nicely. This really is that simple. It took me about 3 minutes to get this done. So make sure to just get that off nice and cleanly. Now, as I'm reaching through right here, you're not gonna be able to see it on the camera. I've got a little bit of adhesive stuck behind. So I'm just kind of working at it with my fingers. So what you're gonna wanna make sure to do, there's a little bit of it right there. Okay, so what you're gonna wanna do is make sure to feel this entire surface, because you want that to be smooth. When you want the new one that goes in, you want it to sit completely flush. And if there's any adhesive left behind, then it's not going to sit flush. So I've got a little bit left right there. I've got a little stretch about that big right here. All the rest feels pretty good. So I'm gonna get that all cleaned off, and then I'm gonna show you slotting the new one in. All right, for the new one, as you can see, it's ready to go. It actually has the adhesive on it. They just painted it over the top of the cover, as you can see. So you're gonna wanna pull that back and then slide it into place. Now, make sure you have the correct one for the correct side. This is driver's side or left side. I'm going to slide it in very carefully. I've also cleaned all of these surfaces and they're dry, clean and dry. So I've cleaned them with a microfiber towel so they're nice and clean. There's no adhesive left and they're all good to go. So I'm just going to take it, press this piece back, slide it into place, and then just press it forward up against the bumper, and it'll be in place just like that. So make sure that it goes in straight and you press it on nice and evenly, and you should be good to go. All right, so that's stuck into place just perfectly. It looks great. If you see any color differences, it's because my car's dirty. So at this point, we're just going to put it all back together. Now, don't forget those two 8mm here and here to line those up with that ducting that sits right here. So get those on first, and then we'll snap these back in. You can see those little rivet clips here at the top. There's a plastic, those plastic expanding posts right here. So if you pulled it that far, you just press that in, you press all of these in, and then I'll show you how to get those those blind rivets back into place. All right, so you look in the video description, I'll have this blind rivet tool, the BMW rivets, which I'll also have listed by the part number, and you could use generic without any problem. But if you want to use the BMW specific ones, it creates a minor problem. The pins on the blind rivets, which is this top part right here, is about a 5 or almost 6mm. It's like 5.5mm. And your average blind rivet tool, if you go to the hardware store, doesn't work. I did find this one at O'Reilly's, and that will be listed in the video description, along with the part number for the blind rivets. Though ironically enough, this kit comes with a whole bag full of blind rivets. So if you got this kit for about 30 bucks, it's going to do everything you need. So what you do is you insert the pin into the tool like that, and then put it in. You press it in all the way in, squeeze as hard as you can, and it will compress that rivet and then snap the top off. Just like it did right there. When you look right there, it works perfectly, flushed in just nicely. So then just do 1, 2, 3, replace the other ones, and put that 8mm back there, and you're all done. All right, so that's what it looks like when it's done. Super simple. The tool worked really, really well. If you haven't done the other side yet, go ahead and get that done. But other than that, you can tell this is a really simple project. Well done. All right, so as you can tell, this is not a hard project to do, and all the tools that you'll need will be listed in the video description below. So make sure to check that out, including that blind rivet tool, which isn't bad to have around if you have an X3, because there's blind rivets in a number of different places. Thank you to IND for making such a fantastic product, and they really do a fantastic job of color matching, which is really, really key. And they are the folks I always go to for pieces like this, because I know that they're going to get the paint color right. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please make sure to click like and subscribe. It makes a genuine difference to my channel, and I would truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on my next project.